Hey sis, I'm pregnant!
Huh? Oh, I see. That's great. Congratulations.
I forgot to tell you, but I'm 8 months gone.
Wait, what? 8 months already?
Yep, I'll be having a home birth at mom and dad's place tomorrow. See you there.
Tomorrow?
You got a problem with that?
No, I mean, it's great that you're doing a home birth at your mom and dad's place, but I just wish you'd have told me this a little earlier so I could have had a chance to adjust my plans.
Excuse me? Since when did I have to get permission from my sister-in-law for everything I do? Are you my boss now? Anyway, you've been married to my brother, what, like 10 years now? How is it that you still haven't had any kids? I don't know whose fault it is, but there has to be something wrong with one of you. So, who is it? Are you a barren wasteland, or is he shooting blanks? In any case, I'm being kind enough to let the two of you look after heavily pregnant me tomorrow. Think of it as kind of like preparation for if you two ever manage to conceive. You better treat me well. I want to see the gratitude in every word, facial expression, and gesture.
Why me?
Because you're my brother's woman, obviously.
Right, I see. So you'll be arriving tomorrow afternoon?
That's right.
Got it.
Anya, sis, are you there? Hey, respond now. My room's like covered in dust. Did you really think this is acceptable? This is the room my little boy's gonna be born in, and you have the nerve to leave it in that state? Will you please get it cleaned up ASAP?
Sylvie, I'm at work right now.
What? You call that work? Don't make me laugh. You're just holed up in your room like always. Mom and Dad were complaining about how you're always up there typing away on your computer like some video game addicted cave-dwelling beast.
I've told you this countless times since coming home, but I work from home. I can do my job entirely from my bedroom. Just because I'm at home during the day doesn't mean I'm lazing around or have nothing to do. If anything, I'm busier now that I was back in my office days. I'm not opposed to helping look after you while you're pregnant, but there's a physical limit to how much I'm able to do.
Excuse me?
I understand you're heavily pregnant, and I understand you can't move around as well as you used to. But that said, you can still do some things for yourself, and you don't need me waiting on you hand and foot 24/7. Not only that, but your mom's always around if you need her. Please stop trying to force everything on me.
Wow, how dare you! Are you seriously trying to force your duties onto my elderly mother? How despicable! That's just bullying, plain and simple. You're bullying your mother-in-law. Who knew my sister-in-law had such a rotten personality? It's such a shame. I used to think you were nice back then when we first met, but it seems like you got too comfortable with my brother, and now you think you can say and do whatever you like. It's scary. Are you gonna bully me too? I'm gonna feel like super uncomfortable around you now.
Oh, give me a break, Sylvie. I'm hardly telling you and your mom to do everything, am I? All I'm asking is that you do the things you can do by yourself, and that she help with the things she's able to help with.
You're so horrible! How could you be this mean-spirited? You're like some kind of movie villain. You're twisted! Wah! Wah!
Actually, I'm the one who wants to cry.
Hey, Anya. Everything okay?
Hey, Charlie.
I heard from an old classmate who lives in the same neighborhood as my folks. Apparently, my little sister moved in with you guys when I got transferred away for work, and you've been having a real hard time of it lately. Is it true? Is everything okay, Anya? What's going on?
Well...
My sister and parents have always had a poor attitude towards you. I know that. But I did tell you to tell me if anything happened with him, didn't I? You could talk to me about anything.
I'm sorry. I didn't want it to affect your work badly in any way, so I kept it to myself.
Don't be silly, babe. You need to think about yourself sometimes too. Everyone at work's really understanding, so please don't worry about that. What actually happened?
Apparently, Sylvie fell pregnant and came back to your folks' place for her home birth.
Wait, what? My sister is pregnant? Since when? That's the first I've heard of it.
Oh wow, you mean she didn't tell you either? She says she's 8 months gone already.
8 months?
Right? I was surprised too. She only told me the day before I came back home. Then she basically ordered me to go to your folks' place, where I was apparently obliged to be your personal servant, carer, and waitress, and expected to cater to her every whim at a moment's notice. Naturally, your mom and dad always have her back 100%, so I'm basically stuck in a house where it's constantly 3 versus 1. To tell you the truth, I'm finding it a little difficult. On the other hand, she most certainly is very pregnant. And out of consideration for the baby, I don't want to do anything that might cause her stress. I feel kind of trapped.
Oh no, Anya. I think maybe it's best you come and stay with me. How does that sound?
Huh?
I know you stayed there to begin with because you had your own job to think about, and my transfer was only ever meant to last a year at the longest. But you started working from home after I moved away. Which means you don't necessarily need to be in that house for work, right?
You do have a point. I've been working from home for about 6 months now, and what with everything that's been going on in the world, upper management decided recently that this style of working would be made permanent.
Well then, surely we can make it work somehow if you come out here to live with me. Besides, if you come soon while I'm still away on transfer, it'll be easier for us to figure out where we want to live next after my transfer period comes to an end. And at that point, we could just up sticks and leave together.
You make some good points. I'm gonna talk to my boss about this. I am technically classed as a remote worker, but I do still have to go into the office 2 or 3 times a month. The company covers my travel cost, but if I was to come and live with you in Delaware, they'd be covering plane tickets, which I kind of feel like I should let them know about in advance. You'd also have to make your place work from home suitable before I arrived.
Ah, I see. I never thought of that stuff. You're right. It's best we have all of our bases covered. One thing I can guarantee you is that the internet here is about as fast as it gets. I can convert the spare bedroom into a study too. Just say the word.
In that case, I'm pretty sure they'll give me the go-ahead right away. I have a few loose ends to tie up and some things to pack though, so would you mind waiting a little longer?
Sure thing. I just want you to know that you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you, Charlie.
Sylvie, I made up my mind. I don't need you.
You don't need me?
You were so lively and cheerful when you came back to stay with us. It seemed like you had nothing to do, so I thought it only made sense to have you wait on my every move. But you haven't been looking after me at all. I actually feel worse off for having you around.
That's hardly my fault when I have work to do, is it? Do you want me to get fired? I always go out of my way to keep an eye on you and make sure you're comfortable and have everything you need when I'm not working.
Not good enough. I'm simply and not satisfied with your service. My mommy will be taking care of everything from here on out, so you needn't bother coming near me anymore. Get out of this house right now. You're a negative influence on me and my baby. If you stay here even a second longer, it'll probably come out disabled. My morning sickness gets 100 times stronger every time I see your repulsive face.
Huh? Weren't you saying the other day how pleased you are that you hardly get morning sickness at all?
Shut up! I don't want to hear another word from you. Get out, get out, get out! Let me make this clear. Your very existence itself irritates me. Get out of this house at once, you barren wasteland of a woman. You couldn't even give my big brother a baby, could you?
You should know I'm never coming back if you change your mind and regret this. You won't be my problem anymore.
I never want to see your gross, disgusting face again.
Thanks for saying that. I'm actually more relieved to hear that than you could know.
Huh?
I've decided to go and live with Charlie in Delaware. I'm really grateful for your blessing. I was kind of stressing over how you might react, but with still not having give birth and all.
Huh?
Anya? Are you on your way now?
Hey, Charlie. Yeah, I'm just getting ready to board the plane. I'll lose signal, but it's not a long flight, so I should be back with you in an hour or so. Then, 3 trains later, I'll be knocking on your door.
Anya, listen. I just received word that Sylvie's been rushed away in an ambulance.
Wait, what? Why?
Apparently, she started getting severe stomach pains after eating my mom's cooking.
Your mom's cooking? Oh no. She didn't, did she?
Yeah, I think she did. It's always been a rule in our household to check that the ingredients in Mom's section of the fridge aren't out of date or rotten before using them. No exceptions. It's been over 8 years since Sylvie flew the nest to go live on her own for college. And I'm guessing she totally forgot about Mom's unsanitary culinary habits.
Oh my, I think you might be right. I'd been cooking all of her meals since the moment she came back. Come to think of it, I don't think your mom cooked for her even once.
Not only that, but you've been cooking all of our family's meals for the last 2 years. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, without fail, every single day. Your food's not only delicious and safe to eat, but you made everything with a healthy balance of vitamins, nutrients, and minerals in mind. My family's probably never been this healthy. As a result, I think they might have let their guard down. They took your cooking for granted, and then when you were gone, well, this happened.
Obviously, I hope Sylvie's okay, but how's the baby? Have you heard anything?
Last I heard that she was experiencing labor pains and that she was most likely going to have the baby prematurely at the hospital.
Oh no, isn't that bad?
It's not great, but don't worry, you don't have to go. I took an emergency vacation from work and I'll be heading down on the first flight tomorrow morning.
Are you sure? I really don't mind.
I think it's for the best you don't. I can just see it now. My sister hurling nonsensical abuse at you from her hospital bed the moment you walk in about how this is all your fault. Things might change and we might need you to come on short notice, in which case I'll contact you. But for the time being, I'd really appreciate if you could just hold tight.
Okay, I understand.
Hey Anya, I'm sorry it took so long messaging you.
Hey Charlie, it's fine. How's Sylvie and the baby? Are they both okay? I've been really worried about them.
The birth went by without a hitch. I have a healthy 8-pound baby nephew. Sylvie's fine too, but how to put this? Another problem seems to have emerged.
Another problem? What happened?
Okay, so you know how Sylvie's husband is white?
Yes?
And you know how Sylvie's also white?
Yes, of course. What does this have to do with anything?
The thing is, the baby's black.
What?
Anya! Hello? Anya? Please, will you come back? Pretty please with a cherry on top. My brother knows how to cook for himself. He'll be fine on his own. You'll be able to come back, won't you? Won't you? You should be prioritizing me and my little boy. I'm in the mother of all pinches here, Anya. Please! Oh my god, how did things get this way?
Hello, Sylvie. I'm glad to hear you and your son are okay. I hate to have to tell you this, but even if I was to come back, I wouldn't be able to look after you like I was doing before.
Why not?
Things at work started going great when I moved out to Delaware to be with Charlie. He's really understanding of my remote work situation and goes to every effort to accommodate me. We also split the housework evenly. He's such a darling. I feel lucky to have him.
But I'm struggling here. How can you live with yourself being all happy and content like that when I'm out here struggling? Looking after a newborn baby is so hard, you wouldn't believe. Like, gosh, how do people even do this? Not only that, but Mom's cooking is so bad, I fear for my life every time I eat.
Your mom's cooking?
It seems like me getting rushed away in an ambulance wasn't enough to make her learn her lesson. Because she insists on making me her special dishes every day without so much as a glance at expiration dates or whether there's a mold on the ingredients. I had no choice but to start cooking for myself. Can you imagine if my little Tyrone ate something she concocted? Not only that, but I caught her force feeding him honey from a bottle with "not suitable for infants" clearly written on the label. He's only supposed to be on breast milk, but she keeps trying to feed him additive-riddled grown-up food. And rotten additive-riddled grown-up food at that. That woman is dangerous. My dad lacks the spine to do anything but look the other way and pretend it isn't happening, so he's no help either.
Where's your husband in all this?
He divorced me. Ugh, don't ask the questions you already know the answer to.
I see. So we really did end up divorcing over that, huh? Well, what about little Tyrone's real dad? What happened with him?
I don't know. He disappeared.
What?
Forget all that. None of it matters now. The point is you need to come home. You need to come home now. My ex-husband wants nothing to do with me. My only choice now is to raise him at my parents' house while trying to avoid either of us being hospitalized again by my mom's lethal cooking. The only people who were ever capable of keeping this place in functioning order were you and my brother. Please, me and Tyrone need you. Stop your complaining and just help us already. Ugh!
Nope, sorry, but I really can't do that.
Why not? I'm begging you here. Have you ever seen me like this? Have you? I'm not doing it for fun, I promise you. Please, I'm desperate here.
I have a question for you, Sylvie. Did you notice how unhealthy living with you made me?
Huh?
Not only did your mom force me to do all the housework and cooking, but when you showed up out of nowhere, so pregnant you were ready to burst and demanded I be your live-in carer going on slave. To make matters worse, none of you seemed to understand the meaning of remote work and interrupted me upwards of 20 times a day, resulting in me barely ever getting anything done. My body was sending me desperate signals to get out. Then Charlie sent me a lifeboat and invited me to live with him, so here I am, finally recovering while being reminded what it's like to live a normal life. And you suddenly demand I throw all of that away to come back and live with you guys in the madhouse?
You can't blame us for that. I bet you just weren't looking after your health properly, or not scheduling properly or something. That's got nothing to do with us. Don't you dare try and blame your poor lifestyle choices on me and my family.
I see. Yeah, there's no way I'm coming back.
Why?
Good luck with everything. Goodbye.
Hi, Sylvia. You asked me recently whether I wanted to marry you or not, right? You said you wanted to get married soon and that you would be the one proposing, but you wanted my answer as soon as possible. Why do you want to get married in the first place?
Yup, I did say that, Lionel. I want to get married soon because I'm going to turn 30 in just a half a month now, after all. I want children as well, if possible, and considering my age, I thought that we should make the decision around now.
You want children, huh? Yeah, I think I don't want to marry you after all.
What? Why not? Do you not want children or something?
To tell you the truth, I want to have a bit more fun while I'm young. Getting married and having children is such a hassle, you know? We won't have much money to spend on our own amusement if we have children, and we'll have to take the time to take care of them.
A hassle? I know raising children is a lot of work, but you're going to give up being a parent just because it's a hassle?
Yeah, I think I am. Besides, there's no need to sound so down. The difference between a married couple and an unmarried couple is just whether they turned in some piece of paper to the city hall or not. Even children, you can still give birth when in your 40s, right? If you think about it like that, we can have fun for 10 more years. Why go through the trouble now when we don't have to?
So you're telling me to give birth once I'm in my 40s?
I mean, you said yourself that you wanted to have children, right? So it shouldn't be a problem for you, right?
Yeah, but I want you to think about the risks of giving birth to children in your 40s. That's why I'm talking to you about this right now. We can't put this off any longer than we already have, Lionel.
What's the matter with you, Sylvia? You sound a lot more anxious than usual. Well, if you really mean what you're saying, then I guess we have no choice but to break up.
Huh? Break up? After we've been going out for the past 10 years?
Yeah, I'm not interested in this marriage and children stuff. If you don't want to break up, then I want things to stay the same.
I understand. That's fine then.
Yep, let's just keep things the way they are and not worry about marriage and stuff. I'm glad you finally get the point.
No, I meant that it's fine if we break up.
What? But we've been going out for 10 years. Can't just break up now. Oh, I know. You're bluffing right now too to get what you want, right? Well, it's not gonna work.
I wonder what these past 10 years I spent with you were. Now that I think about it, all we did was kill time together. I honestly don't understand anymore. Goodbye, Lionel.
What? Sylvia? Did you just get mad or something? Just contact me when you're in a better mood, okay? Hey, Sylvia. It's been 5 years, right? I'm finally ready to get married, so I decided to contact you again. I think I'm going to accept that offer of yours now. Anyways, you moved sometime after we broke up, right? Just because you got mad at me and were in a bad mood doesn't mean you can just keep your new address a secret from your boyfriend. I thought you were still living in that old apartment of yours, you see. I wore a suit and bought some roses and a wedding ring because I intended to propose to you. To think that I was so nervous when I rang the doorbell, but when the door opened, a completely different person greeted me. It was so awkward. So, where are you living now? I've got a surprise for you as well, so I want to tell you it, so I want you to tell it to me by tomorrow. Hey, anyone there? Don't tell me that you're still mad about that fight we had over 5 years ago, are you? I didn't take you for the kind of person to hold a grudge. Jesus, I better make sure not to make you mad once we get married. What's your new address, Sylvia? Just tell me when you see these texts, I guess.
What the fuck? Is that you, Lionel? Shit, I must have forgotten to block you. What is it that you want?
Oh, so you finally saw the messages I sent you. What do you mean by you forgot to block me? Why in the world would you ever do that? I'm your boyfriend. But we've got more important matters. Seriously, what in the world are you doing? Jesus. If you don't hurry up and tell me your new address, the surprise I have planned for you tomorrow will be ruined. Hurry up and tell me your new address. It won't do if I don't know how long it will take you to get to the venue, right?
I'm not going to tell you my new address. And what do you mean by a surprise?
I told you by text yesterday, didn't I? I'm finally ready to marry you, so I have a surprise prepared.
I don't know what you plan on doing, but I don't want your surprise. I have no intention of marrying you anyways, let alone of meeting you again.
Huh? Are you seriously still mad at me? Jeez. Will you just let it go already? You're the one who said you wanted to get married, right? What's with the sudden change of heart? And to think that I was finally ready to get married.
I said I don't have any intention of marrying you anymore. Besides, didn't we break up 5 years ago? Did you seriously think that I haven't moved on by now?
Huh? What do you mean you moved on? Oh, I get it. You're still mad about the fight we had 5 years ago. Seriously, Sylvia, just let it go already.
That's not the point. Yes, I was mad at the time, but that was 5 years ago and I've already moved on. It's not that I'm mad, it's just that you're not a part of my life anymore, Lionel. Why'd you even think of contacting me in the first place?
Fine. Then why don't we just get back together and get married then if we broke up and you've moved on, as you say?
What? Do you seriously not get what I'm trying to say? I have zero intention of getting back together with you, Leonel. Stop texting me.
It's no use trying to lie to me, Sylvia. I see right through you. I mean, we did go out for 10 years. I know you still like me after all this time. It's so obvious that you're still into me. I'll accept the proposal you made to me 5 years ago. So just come to the wedding venue tomorrow, alright?
The wedding venue? Huh? Did you seriously reserve a wedding venue or something?
Of course I did.
But aren't weddings supposed to be planned out by the couple first? I think there are a lot of things that can't be decided without the bride there. What did you do about the wedding preparation?
Oh yeah, you're right. They told me the bride needed to be there to plan the wedding with me. Which is why I had your sister cooperate inside for you.
My sister?
Yep. She's about the same age as you and looks like you too, so I had her pretend to be the bride and come with me for the wedding preparation.
What? You know that I cut ties with my sister when I was 28, right? She caused so much trouble that even our parents cut ties with her. I told you that she was crazy, Leonel, but you still decided to approach her. Who knows what she's planning? If I were you, I'd just cancel the wedding and have nothing to do with my sister anymore.
Oh, come on, Sylvia, you're exaggerating. Your sister's a perfectly normal person. I don't know why you ever cut ties with someone so sweet. Besides, there's no need to worry about the details. The planning's already done, and all you have to do now is come to the wedding. The wedding venue for tomorrow is called H Wedding, and is in K City. They said they need the bride to be there by 8 a.m., so don't be late, alright?
What in the world make you think that I'd actually go? Have you seriously not been reading my texts?
There's no need to be shy. You've known each other for so long. I know that when you're like this, you actually mean the opposite.
Sorry, but I have a date with my husband tomorrow, so I can't come.
What? Your husband? Oh, you mean me? You're right, I was intending to turn in our marriage papers tomorrow. But what do you mean you can't come to our wedding because you have a date with me? We can't just postpone the wedding and go on a date if that's what you meant, Sylvia.
No, that isn't what I meant. And by my husband, I don't mean you, Leonel. You see, I already got married with another man 3 years ago. I even have children now.
Huh?
Now that you know all this, I guess I'll tell you the rest, since you'll find out sooner or later anyways. My husband is your second cousin, Manuel.
What? Manuel? But he's 5 years younger than you. I knew you were that kind of woman, but still.
That's right, judge me if you want, but I don't care. By the way, I started going out with Manuel not knowing that he was your second cousin. I only found out that he was your second cousin at our wedding, because amongst his relatives at the wedding was your cousin, which I had met before.
What? Why did you not tell me about this?
Because we had already broken up and didn't feel the need. Still, I was so surprised when I saw your cousin there. After a bit of investigation, I found out that your cousin had already cut ties with you since you tried to interfere in some of their inheritance business when you had no right to do so. I heard that both you and your parents were shunned by the rest of your relatives. Is that true?
That has nothing to do with our marriage. We'll talk about it afterwards if you want.
Tell me, does this mean that you have a debt or something?
Just a tiny one, maybe?
My father is the CEO of a company. You might have been planning to marry me so that you could get the position of the next CEO of my father's company, getting rid of your debt in the process. But it's not going to work.
How did you know that?
I mean, thinking only about how you yourself could benefit from a situation is your specialty, isn't it?
So that's what you thought of me all along?
Yup. I don't know why I didn't break up with you sooner. But isn't that also why you refused to marry me 5 years ago? You didn't want to get married and have children because it would be a hassle for you, right? You wouldn't be able to spend as much money on your own entertainment if you had children to take care of, after all.
That's unrelated. What matters is that I'm finally ready to marry you.
Yeah, but I'm not. Anyways, I got off topic. Like I said earlier, I already have a husband and children. Oh, and about my father's company, the next CEO was already decided 2 years ago, and he's someone completely unrelated to me.
What did you say? So I'm not going to become a CEO even if I marry you?
Yes, although you're not going to marry me in the first place. Well, that's all I have to say. You understand now that you won't benefit from marrying me anymore. I think that's enough to make you give up, right?
Seriously? What am I going to do about tomorrow's wedding then? I had a really extravagant wedding plan since I thought that your family would be able to pay for it in the future.
Each wedding at K-City, right? I heard that wedding ceremonies there are really expensive.
Lend me some money, will you? This wedding was supposed to be yours in the first place. This is partly your fault, so at least pay for half of the cancellation fee.
No, I'm not going to lend you money, and I'm not going to pay for the cancellation fees.
Come on, don't be so stingy. At least think about it a little longer. Seriously? What am I supposed to do now? Sylvia, help me. What should I do? I was forced to marry your sister. Was she planning this all this time? You're right, she really is crazy.
Huh? So that's what she was up to. I told you that you would regret having anything to do with my sister, didn't I?
I was surrounded by a bunch of tough-looking guys and forced to come to the wedding. And then they forced me to say the wedding vow with your sister at the chapel. The wedding papers I had prepared for you and me as well. They made me sign it with your sister's name as the wife's name. I admit it, you were right, so please help me.
Hold on. By the surprise you had planned for me, were you planning on getting me and my sister to make up or something? Did you seriously think that that was going to make me happy?
I mean, who wouldn't want to make up with their long-lost sister?
She's insane, Lionel. Although, I guess you know that by now. You asked her to pretend to be me during the wedding preparations, right? I had the feeling that you would tell her to come on the wedding day as well.
Oh, yeah. I was intending on that.
I see. So that means my sister was planning on marrying you from the start. No one's going to deny it now, since you had her pretend to be your wife after all.
Huh? But surely they'll believe me if I tell them what really happened, right?
I think that's going to cause you a whole host of other problems. Anyways, it looks like you haven't noticed until now, but apparently you're exactly the kind of guy my sister wants. Even when we were together, she would always annoy me by saying, "Give me your boyfriend." It honestly pissed me off really bad.
Huh? She said that to you? Why do you never tell me about this?
I don't know. I guess it was embarrassing. Now that I think about it, I think that the reason I stayed with you for 10 years was because I unconsciously didn't want my sister to have you, and not because I liked you or anything. Yep, I was pretty foolish back then.
What are you talking about? I don't get anything you've been saying, Sylvia. You mean that you only stayed with me for 10 years to spite your sister? Fine, just help me then, will you? I have no intention of marrying your sister.
Stop asking me for a solution to this mess, alright?
I wonder if the only solution is to do something about those tough-looking guys following your sister around.
I don't know.
Wait, who are those people in the first place?
I said I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Hold on, don't tell me they're part of some gang.
Hey, could you please stop asking me? I really don't know, and I don't want to accidentally say anything strange that might get me involved in this mess.
What? So you're just going to leave me? Don't you feel the least bit responsible for this?
I don't.
Uh,
I mean, it's my ex-boyfriend and my sister who I cut ties with, so there's no way I'm going to get involved with that. The only reason I'm replying to your text right now is because we think that this is an irregular situation. Your second cousin and my husband, Emmanuel, are reading these texts and only replying because we have to.
Huh? Manuel's there with you?
Yeah, he is. There's something he wants to tell you as well.
What the hell does he want with me?
We cut ties with you and your family because all you three cared about was money. I don't want anyone like that bothering my wife, he says.
But, I really need you to help me right now. I don't really want to get married.
I see. Bye.
Huh? But Sylvia!
After that conversation, I blocked Lionel, confused as to whether he wanted to get married or not. The only reason he was able to text me in the first place was because I forgot to block him all those years ago. I heard about what happened after that from a friend who knew what happened, but it seems like Lionel and my sister haven't broken up and are now living together. Apparently, my sister is pregnant with Lionel's baby, and won't let him leave her because she wants Lionel to take responsibility for the baby. To be honest, I wanted to make a joke and tell him something about how he's been making my sister pretend to be me for too long, but I restrained myself. My sister, on the other hand, who was finally able to marry the man of her dreams, hasn't noticed that her new husband was in a huge amount of debt, it seems. I wonder for just how long this happiness of theirs will last. Actually, I guess they were never really happy in the first place.